Rock the box, there's the spot where we discussing all your favorite things. Rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box. Want to know which music?
Captain, the ship is sinking. What do we do? Do we abandon ship or do we stay on it? It's a question for the evening. I tell you, I've got my life jacket and I'm ready to take a journey. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but I'm on. I tell you all, I'm with you all. It's Thursday evening, Grenada, and we're getting ready to rock the box. It's your boy JC. Peace and love to you. Thanks for joining us from wherever you are, and welcome to what we call the Icebox. If you're never really quite sure what it's called, the Icebox, one day ask my good old brother by another mother, Andrew Hitz Phillips. He knows exactly what it is. So wherever you are, we say thanks for being part of this Thursday evening conversation. It's a question we've been asking ourselves for years. What do we do? Do we abandon ship or do we stay on it? Well, I'm telling you what my plan is. I've learned that we've come a long way, but we've got a long, long way to go. So says the flying turkey. Val, he's of the opinion that Calypso of years ago as compared to today, it's worth nothing. I agree with him. That's the conversation that we're getting ready, guys. So Legends in Concert is going to be a big one. I got a full kit and caboose in studio this evening, and I'm telling you, it is going to be a whole lot of fun. I mean, Andrew is here with us, and he finds himself as a baby in the mix of all the old men, middle age, and the others.
Everyone here is 25.
Everyone here is 25?
Everyone here is 25.
Well, I was sitting over here minding my own business, and Gypsy says he is 70. I said, well, good. I know he cannot be West Indian, because most West Indians don't bat deep into that. They don't stay that long in wicket anyway. So I know he's not a West Indian. He must be anything else but a West Indian. And then maybe if he's a West Indian, maybe he's Lara, because Lara is back, of course, to mentor the team, as they say. Mentor the team? West Indies needs mentoring? Somebody get a belt and put some licks on this boys. Take away their paycheck. But anyway, we're not here to discuss this. We're here to tell you, go call your mother, call your brother, call your sister, call your auntie, call your uncle, call everybody. Tell them it's Thursday night, and we're getting ready to rock the box. We're also getting ready for King of the Grill 2023. It's going to be set for the 29th of July inside of Mont Rouge. But tonight we're here to have ourselves a party, a real party. How do you know the quality of good music? And I'm going to start with you, Andrew, for a specific reason. Andrew, my brother, how do you know good music when you hear it? What say you?
It's so subjective, but I'll answer this simply by saying...
Try to give me an objective response, though.
Yeah, I'll answer it simply by saying what connects with you. I mean, for every generation has music that connects with them, and sometimes you may not understand why, or you may wonder, okay, this is what y'all enjoy, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's what connects. So I would say it's subjective in that fact, you know. But if I should go a little deeper into the answer, I would say I would change the question to classic. You know, the difference between a hit song, a good song, and a classic song. Now, a classic song is the one that from the time it comes out till oh, you could play it and it never dies. There are hit songs that come out and they may last 6 months, a year, 2 years. There are good songs that come out and may last a little longer, but a classic song, which I'm hoping that's what you mean by, you know, a good song, is a song that can just last from generation to generation. You can play it for the grandkids. They laugh and enjoy it just as you did when you first heard it.
So with that being said, you've taken an objective position on a subjective topic. Would it be reasonable to conclude that the man that sits before us right now, Sinking Ship, is indeed a classic?
Very much so.
You've done right. You've done right. Folks, we're getting ready for Legends. And this Legends is going to be really special. Val and I, we're going to chit-chat about it. But this one is the actual clash it is going to be. Have you heard about it? Are you going to be at Legends, though, Andrew?
I definitely want to be. Definitely want to be.
You did not answer the question. You gave me a political response. I want to be.
I want to be. I want to be.
You want to be a politician?
You know this time of the year, and different obligations have to be here and everywhere. So I definitely definitely want to be. I love legends.
We love legends as well. The man Andrew hits Philippines on the inside. Well, certainly after such an accolade and an introduction, I'm going to head right over to him. He says he is 70. He come dressed like a sweet boy this evening, though. Telling me that they didn't tell him he was coming on television. He thought he was coming for radio. The man Gypsy will introduce you by no other name. Gypsy Sinking Ship. For me, that's how I remember you. And what say you? How are you?
I'm doing fine, and happy to be here, happy to be on Legend again, happy to be recognized as a legend.
Happy to be at Legends and be recognized as a legend.
Yeah.
When you did that song years ago, did you ever sit and think about it with the curls and everything? I know you're all posting like me, my older brother. Did you ever see that far, that the song?
No, I never. The truth about it is that when I saw the song, when I wrote the song for a particular purpose, which it served well at the time. And it continued to serve that purpose way beyond the time that I wrote it for. And as a matter of fact, it served its purpose up to a couple of years ago in the United States, because I just had to rewrite that very song for it. It had something to do with Biden's election.
Right.
So Biden, so he has to thank that song a little bit as well. So I wasn't envisioning all these things, but that's the power of a song. When you write a song, and that's why when you write a song, you must always make sure, and this is for all the young people, all the young writers, you must make sure that your song is well copywritten, because now it can go well past your lifetime and forms part of your estate, with your family and your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, because you know they have extended in America. It used to be 50 years after the death of the writer.
Right.
But now it doesn't go into public domain basically at all. It is your song, and it forms part of your estate for life, for as long as it would live.
For as long as you would live, as long as you would live, we would always remember Sinking Ship. We are going to remember Sinking Ship, but we're here to celebrate. Val, we're getting ready for Legends. I mean, Legends, it's almost become a staple in the Grenadian circuit. What's your thoughts, though, on the history of the Legends and what some has argued it has given, Val, and what it will give to the art form of Calypso soca as it is?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that we haven't had Legends for 3 years, because of the pandemic and so on. So it's great just to have it again. And this year, we felt that if we have a clash between the Grenadian artists and Trinidad, because I think that every Caribbean country has always been looking and pitting themselves against Trinidad, marking themselves and saying, I think we are better than them now, So that is an ongoing argument.
It's ongoing?
It's an ongoing argument.
Andrew, I must have missed the memo. I thought we ended an Gypsy, I swore we ended an argument years ago. I swear.
Look at that. So that you just declared your bias.
What bias? What did I say?
You said you thought that you ended that conversation, meaning that you know who the winner is. So there is no debate.
No.
That is not what I got from you?
That's was your interpretation. You said that the argument continues. And I'm saying
that the argument is finished.
No. If you take my words specifically, I said I thought that argument had ended a long time ago.
You know what?
So he's misconstrued.
Years ago, as a child growing up, they said, you know what thought make a man do?
You wouldn't expose me in national TV. That's really and truly when we look at it. We've been talking about Legends, Andrew, and it offers the ideal platform for the legends to meet the young ones. Songs that we've known without even we could think about it. For example, you hear IMF. And automatically, you can't but help envision the Black Wizard.
Yes.
He clashes with you.
Yes, the Black Wizard, that's a friend of mine. He's my dear friend. I'm told now he's an ambassador, and I am happy to hear all of that. I'm happy to see more than beyond the Calypso realm, Calypsonians have been making great strides Because there was a time, even in Trinidad and Tobago, when they used to have signs in some of the places that said, no Calypsonians or dogs.
And dogs, yeah.
Wow.
And today, Calypsonians are ministers, prime ministers, ambassadors, and whatever else. The presidents, of course.
Right.
We had one.
We are all kinds of stuff. Yes, we have presidents, former Calypsonians who were presidents and stuff. And this to me has shown that we have come a long way. And thank God for those of us who have persevered to make it that.
So Flying Turkey was right all along, though.
Of course.
We haven't come a long way.
Of course we come a long way.
But you understand tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm almost
Saturday.
certain. Saturday. Sorry. Why am I in such a hurry? But you'll almost appreciate, though.
Show is that good.
That when you get on stage and you hear the battle cry and we draw the battle line, ain't no friends in that.
Well, there'll always be. The friendship is there. But you know what? When you have a job to do, you have a duty to perform.
Right.
That duty has to be performed, and you go out there and you do it's like two boxers. You go and you do whatever you have to do and hug up each other when you finish. At the end of the day, that's friendly banter. And we are all right with that. We are entertainers. We are people that come a long way. We have shouldered this art form for a long, long time and continue to so do. And we will continue to do that. And I want to, at this point, let me just thank Godfrey for his vision, because you know that there are visionary people. There are people who look at things down the road, and I think that this is one of them, along with Val, along with myself, because I was one of the very first persons who helped Godfrey organize all of this, what we call the legends today.
Concert.
And this is vision. I want to congratulate Godfrey on doing that. And up to this day, bringing younger people who are now younger veterans, because we have young veterans.
True.
And when you bring
there's one sitting right next to you.
Yeah, they become legends in their youth, and it's good to have an outlet where they can now exhibit that kind of legendary trait that makes them who they are.
Well, let me ask you though, while we add, because the whole issue of legends, I keep saying you need to give people their flowers while they're alive. But you look at the iconic figures like yourself. You've long retired from the art form. You have young guys like Andrew Hitz Phillip who making waves and setting a name for themselves early in the game. Does that show a measure of growth in the whole sphere of music, calypso, as we see it?
Well, it has always been like that, really. You know that some people have done it in their later years, some people do it in their youth. I don't like to talk about myself, but my very first song that I recorded was a hit, and it is still, like you talk about songs that crosses generation gaps. Anyway, I sing that song today, and I sang that song when I was a very, 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 very young, and at 70 years I still sing it, and it's still relevant because it's called For Cain.
Let's assume for the purpose of this conversation that I don't know it. Let's just assume. Let's assume that Val doesn't know it.
You have to know it. I think that you missed the point. I think that a lot of the Caribbean countries, our history was in terms of the sugar plantations. So that if a man creates a song called For Cain, clearly it comes out of the environment of this culture of ours, of the Caribbean, that was plantation.
That's the disclaimer you just gave me.
No.
I appreciate it, Val. I appreciate it. You just give me.
But it is instances like those with those kind of song that lives in people's memory, that creates young legend like.
And it's for that purpose why I said I would pretend that I don't know it.
Yes.
Because I want you to sing it for me. That's what we're going with this,
I think you would have to wait on Saturday.
Well, we're gonna have it on Saturday.
You'll wait on Saturday.
I tell you what, though, whatever happens in the Rock of the Box stays in the Rock of the Box. Because I'm gonna get it out of you one way or the other. Andrew, tell him. Andrew, he doesn't realize.
He doesn't realize. I have a lot of songs that people remember. I have a lot of songs that I continuously do on my shows. But there is not one time that I can go anywhere and do a show and people, and I'm not talking about people my age, I'm talking about young people who would say, sing 4K, we want 4K, sing 4K.
Whether or not it's for nostalgic feeling,
yes,
or just because they're perverted, they want you to sing it. They're perverted in the head.
No, I think it's the maybe the connotation.
Some of them is somehow, Andrew, don't you think so? I think some is just pure perversion.
I think that 4K has become, that's what I said earlier on, a metaphor of our Caribbean space. You understand? For a space where, sugar was the prime product, you have a song that is a metaphor coming out of that space. So it is a metaphor.
Is it the same reason why we embraced the rum culture in the Caribbean? And is that the same reason why while most of our younger generation sing about the rum?
But
is it for the same reason?
It might be, but I don't believe if you made a song say, Monday she gone for rum and Tuesday she gone for rum, it would have the same impact.
Monday she gone for rum and Tuesday she gone for cocaine.
It might be a little different. So even though the both of them have some synergy, but I think it's for different reasons. But whatever reason it is, I am happy that it lived, and I'm happy that such songs were created, that it can have a legendary effect, and then propel people like my good self to be called legends and icons, and because they are iconic performance.
Indeed, the legend himself, he is in the studio. In case you're just joining us, your boy JC on the Thursday, we rocking the box. I want to tell you, we rocking in fine style. Yeah, the younger of the lot, yeah, if you find he looks familiar, take the glasses away. Yeah, it is him. And you're probably asking, yeah. Indeed, sinking ship, the Mad Gypsies in the house. Val, I mean, you have been part of the
legend
journey as it is. Of course, Gypsy alluded to that, and he's been part of it too. But let's talk about the legends as an institution and the growth that you've seen over the years.
Yeah, but I want to speak probably before we reach institution, because I think that is where we're heading. Legends, the institution, but clearly Legends is a brand, and the brand is moving into becoming an institution, so that we see that this calypso art form of ours is such a powerful medium. And you need to have a space where that can be showcased. It's really telling that that Grenada and Grenada Trade Center and the population of Grenada has been the space to launch such a brand that is moving into that iconic space in terms of an institution, bringing Caribbean artists together, interacting with one another, having discussions. I mean, I've spoken to artists coming in from Jamaica, the St. Vincent, you name it, and when we meet, when we sit at whatever hotel there is and have breakfast and talk, the conversations are amazing, and that continues to happen, and that is all part of it, so that it is feeding into a number of things that has residual effect going forward in terms of how Calypso is seen, the product of Calypso. I think friend just alluded to, in an earlier discussion about the chicken and chips generation and so on, so that you have so I don't want to again label particular kinds of products from younger people. I think that what you see today is reflected of the environment in which we live, similar to the crop of West Indian cricketers, is definitely a product of the environment of the Caribbean, but you have these standard bearing songs, the iconic songs that are always there, that tells you, hey, I think you're missing the mark, you need to do some work. Similarly, batsmen of today, have to look and see, Viv was doing it to the best of bowlers, right? Without helmet, without any anything, Lara and so on, fearless. What has happened to this crop? So that there is such discussion that needs to happen. So just as, you know, the CARICOM turned 50 and you have all these debates, among the Calypso bards that come here, we are having discussions, we are keeping this this art form alive and believing in its possibility to speak always to a Caribbean audience.
Andrew, last week, and now that Val has opened the Pandora's box, I know somebody was going to do it, you know. I don't have to. I just ask the questions, and somebody, Andrew, always comes to my aid. Val, thank you. West Indies, mediocrity, soca. Is it that you suggested that our society, we measure in mediocrity? If we ever want to talk about what's happening, West Indies as an institution, as a team, is it that they are reflective of us, who we are? We're not measuring in mediocrity, are we?
I'm saying that you cannot subtract what is happening in West Indian cricket as an isolation. You know, it is part of the society. There has to be a reason why people are not stepping up to the plate and performing in the way that they are performing. So that there is something wrong. It's not about just switching or like running, like in Calypso, you're running from one arranger to the next, hoping that you might get a better song. But the product you're producing in the first place, not up to scratch. So that Pelham Goddard or somebody else is not going to make your song better simply because he's a good arranger. You understand? You have to come with a good product that you must understand chord progression, you must understand melody and lyric. You have to listen to the older bards and know that Calypso or the minors have particular kinds of progression, and you have to drill yourself and learn these foundational forms in order to create products that are long-lasting. So you don't just jump off and do it.
So Andrew, is it our young artists, those modern-day artists, they have not learned anything? What say you, Andrew?
All right, so the conversation is far more nuanced. There's many layers to it, so it's more like an onion. One of the core aspects of this,
I like that.
one of the core aspects of this conversation has to do with education, as well as brain drain, right? So I'll start with the education first. Here in Grenada, when I was in school, which is not that long ago because I'm 20, right? Hint, hint. When I was in school, there was far more programs that involved music. Alert Recorder, there was pan, drum corps. There was so much avenues, areas. When I was in the pan yard, they were teaching scoring. They were teaching how to read and write music. So a lot of information was readily available when I was growing up. As time continued and musicians kept getting frustrated and migrating, this is where the brain drain comes in. You found that fewer and fewer teachers were left, and the fewer and fewer teachers that stayed also got frustrated and ended up venturing into different things, because the industry side of things, the business side of things, especially here in Grenada, has not evolved as like our neighboring islands have, like for example the Barbados, the Trinidad, Jamaica, etc., where you can see that it's become artists within the art form, whether Calypso or soca, can within their country, turn it into a career and do it full time. Right. You find that here, especially for the younger generation, and as the generations get younger, it continues, that most of okay, let's just say for Carnival, you might have 500 artists, a couple 100,000 songs, right? 20 of those might be people who are career-based, this is their career, this is what they do, because they tour, they leave the island every year, and they go to this place, they go to that place, so they can sustain and reinvest in themselves. Most of the others tend to do some other kind of day job. Construction is a common one, and then in their part-time, they still have to split up whatever they made from their day job to try and get studio time, and instead of going and invest in a studio where you can get that full quality, they'll go by a partner that, okay, give me $500 and I'll get rid of them.
Okay.
So you see there's so many different layers to it, and one is education, because you don't find, a lot of the artists that are here now, can't really score, can't read, can't write music. Some of them don't know the different scales. You know, they can't tell you a chromatic scale from an F scale, as well as you find that they don't have the finances to invest. So even if you say, for example, there's maybe a handful of studios that can give you that level of quality, but for these studios to operate at that quality and pay the musicians involved, the engineers, go through the entire process, they need a budget of XYZ, and they can't pay that. They go by their friend. And then you hear this quote-unquote bedroom music coming out, and then that someone hits with one, another one hits with one, and it gets popular on the ground, and then you find that we have what you're calling the KFC music that gets popular for a season, and then as soon as Carnival, the Wednesday after Carnival reach, nobody wants to hear that and they switch to something else.
But why do we seem to be having more of the fast food rhythms than anything else?
Because
Jack and Jill went up the hill, a guy just comes, he puts two nursery rhymes together, and all of a sudden he comes and he asks me, JC.
Because it connects again, and this is what I was saying, connecting, right? It connects with people because there's a lot of people, especially here in Grenada. I can't really speak for the other islands because we're here in Grenada, so I'll speak about Grenada, right? I've spent a lot of time in Trinidad, yes.
Speak about Trinidad.
Yes, but when you can see that certain things connect because people connect with like minds, right? And when you see these young artists struggling and trying to find their way, they connect with the base that is struggling on a day-to-day basis and can't find their way either. Who's working for maybe $800 a month and had 3 children and had to pay for their grandparents to do this and the mother to do that, and they can't figure it out. And then at the end of the day, okay, you mentioned rum. Rum is so prolific because that is a lot of people's therapy. They can't pay to go to a therapist. As a matter of fact, they might even know about a therapist. So they go in the rum shop and they buy a 8, which is very cheap, and they drink, and then a partner will buy 8, and so they end up drinking the whole night, and that is their way of dealing with it.
And they sing what it all.
And they sing whatever, and they laugh and they have a time, and this is now becoming a commonplace thing. I shouldn't say no, but has become a commonplace thing. So you'll see, for example, a lot of the songs that we may hear on the radio and say, what is that, ding, ding, ding. Pass by the rum shop, them and them drinking, they laughing, and they singing the same songs. And how many rum shops did I have in Grenada?
Interesting though, the views expressed is that of Andrew hits Philip and doesn't in any way represent the views of me, JC. But it's an interesting argument you make. I mean,
I think also that the objective and the emulation from our time to this time is totally different. Mm-hmm. The objective now is not as much on the music or attention to the music as much as it is to make money. Everybody try to make a living out of what they do. Mm-hmm. But when we started, I could talk about me. I never really knew that you could make no money out of singing. I wanted to be a singer. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be out there. And I was listening to what they were doing and trying to be out there as well. So that emulation from that, and they not trying to run down the money as much, mm-hmm. made us put out a different kind of product. Now what is happening to these young people? I would have emulated people like Sparrow and Kitchener and Short Shirt and whoever else at that time. Right. Their emulation is Jay-Z and the Rolls Royce and the multi
superficial lifestyle.
You know, the mansion wherever. Don't get me wrong. Somewhere along the line, people like myself and others, we started wanting to be like that too, because Sparrow, you see Sparrow living in a big place, you see whatever, and you wanted it. But there's a magnified, theirs is different. Their perspective on life is totally different. And what they are singing, like Andrew is saying, it is what is driving them and getting them where they want to go. That's the vehicle that they're using, and some of them are getting there.
Getting them anywhere? Or is it just?
It is taking some of them. It has taken some of them somewhere. Some of these guys, I mean, they make a lot of money and they live well. But
that's the 1%, though.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm. But it has always been in entertainment. Mm-hmm. In entertainment, would always be 1%. Mm-hmm. My generation, I started singing, and I could safely say I make it, but there are a lot of people I know who started singing along with me, who never made it.
So let me ask you though, what we've seen, and folks, in case you're just joining us, we're getting ready for Legends in Concert. The Legends, they're already here. We'll take a break in a while because, of course, we need to get Flying Turkey back on. But some have argued, gentlemen, that we've seen a depreciation of the product of calypso / soca.
And I harken back to Andrew. The thing about it is that because our generation knows something else, so you are seeing a degeneration in it, or what you believe to be a degeneration. But they are not seeing that because they don't know that at all. You understand what I'm saying?
And I think, let me just insert, I think that the point I made earlier, and I think that you cannot, subtract this thing from the environment. Calypso started with people and a culture where in Trinidad you had the sign, as a Gypsy alluded to, Calypsonians and dogs not allowed, right? The Calypsonian still came through as a man of words, a man who could distinguish himself through language, so that, Sparrow would, and I'm just thinking one song, in terms of well-spoken mappers and so on, is a classic example of that kind of culture where you're using words in that kind of grandiloquent manner, and that was the Calypsonian, and that fed into a number of songs that people created, so that calypso has always been, as I say, the metaphor and use of words and so on. You have
and all of those
right, and it goes with the dress. You have a generation now where that language and grandiloquence and so on definitely are not part of their culture. And so that one other point, so that in simple things, in weddings and so on, when a man get up to make a speech, and he praising so on. So that was all part of it, and all through the Caribbean we have that. The grandfather, the uncle, or whatever would get up and speechify, and that fed into calypso. We have lost that as we become more modern or aping other societies, and we produce this society now. And this society is so vastly different from what pertained before. So they have their own culture.
And also, I believe that the Calypsonians of yesteryear had a multi-purpose for singing calypso, because he was still close to the struggle of even though removed, but not too far removed from that slavery struggle, and the struggle of disseminating information. And he did that.
The messenger of the people.
These singers that we have today, they have one single purpose.
What's that?
To be an entertainer, make money. That's it. So if it is to go and sing, to jump on the bumper, choke on the bumper, whine on the bumper, that's what it is. If it is to sing about rum, but the Calypsonian was so multi-purpose. His purpose was, while he is an entertainer, he was more of a griot that told the story of his life and of his existence and whatever it is. And that is what defines that type of music. When I sang The Sinking Ship, it was to remove a government that I believe was really oppressive and not doing what we wanted them to do. When they don't have the same objective. Even though those songs still have purpose today, like I said, it just held Biden, so it still have some kind of purpose. But at the end of the day, what the young people have, they are singular in what they're doing. They're singing to entertain you, period. That's it. At the end of the day, the song don't have to make sense. It don't have to have the definitive purpose other than to go out there, make you dance, make you jump, make you whine, and that's it. And make
I must say, though, I'm happy that they are the young artists like Andrew, who does not subscribe to that line of quote-unquote nothingness that exists. You want to
I don't want us to go down the road in terms of castigating totally.
No, not
I mean, young people.
I'm not castigating
that it doesn't sound that way.
At all.
So that,
I appreciate what it is.
All I think that young people are trying to fashion music or new music out of this new culture. So there is a lot of hit and miss. You know, they are not so much connected with the past, and not that the past is irrelevant to them.
But there is a disconnect.
You know, but there has been a disconnect. You know, so I don't want us who understand that to be lamenting and castigating so much, but understanding that there is something afoot, something new is trying, and it just hasn't come together as yet.
To people like us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Val, for having my dear trio, for rearranging my ignorance. Just for tonight. I'll be good. Have you ever been stung by a bee? A bumblebee. You ever feel it in this country? You know? But I drinking water and mind my business. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Your boy JC as we rock the box on the Thursday.
Rock the box, dicey spot.
Do you have muscular pain that no one can find a solution for? Are you tired of taking meds for joints and other pains? Hills and Valley Medicare Center on Grenville Street, St. George is here to help you heal. We will help you map a path to your full recovery. Visit us Monday to Saturday for a consultation with our on-site doctor, physiotherapist, and massage team. You will be glad you did. Our Medicare Center, a proud member of the Hills and Valley group of companies. On the hilltop or in the valley, we are with you wherever life takes you. Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Your health is our business.
Do you wish to learn how to swim? Well, Monday the 10th to Friday the 14th of July 2023 is the Sandals Foundation National Learn to Swim Week. And Get Grenada Swimming are providing 1-hour swimming classes for children aged 5 years old all the way up to seniors. Classes last 1 hour each and are from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. daily, absolutely free. There are 19 swim locations to choose from, all over Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Over 10,000 individuals have been on the Get Grenada swimming program since 2017. Why not join us? You can register via www.getgrenadaswimming.com. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Ocean Connect, a Sandals Foundation program, for their support. Book your swim classes via www.getgrenadaswimming.com.
Fit for Life presents Subway Fitness Revolution 10, The Storm. Strikes at Monroe's playing field beginning Monday, 10th July. Monday to Thursday from 5 p.m. $60 gets you on the inside with 4 weeks of fitness and fun activities led by a team of local and international fitness experts. Activities include aerobics, dance-a-side, fitness challenges, heights, and our signature and highly anticipated Raw Day event. Attractive prizes and giveaways. Get fit and healthy. Lose weight. Build stamina for the summer. And get in shape for Spice Mass 23. Register today at Fit for Life Medical in Grandance or Standard Bookstore on Lucas Street, St. George. 16 days of health and fitness activities. We shift towards national health and wellness. Grenada Fitness Revolution 10, The Storm. Endorsed by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Fitness Revolution 10 is sponsored by Subway Grenada, Dasani Water, Powerade, Vitamalt, Antillian Insurance, Flow, Greens Automotive, Pineapple Marketing and Communication, Allied Laboratories, Captain Harris Apartments, MTV, Emporio Grenada Limited, Sign Wizard, Mitchell's Health and Wellness, and Oro Mass Band.
We have big reasons for a big noise. From today, we're putting on a new face in Grenada. Are you ready for the colored bins? You see these color-coded litter bins? Wash them good, listen up good, and use them good. You see this old habit of putting all garbage in one bin? That's stopping. That stopped as from today. Worse yet, you see this habit of dropping things on the ground, in the drains, on the sidewalks in town, or throwing things in the sea? That stopped too. Tell us more, Mr. Garbage Man. You look like a man with a good plan. You see these bins? You will bung them up in the tongues, on the beaches, in the park, and some hotspots for littering. Now, don't make nobody embarrass you and tell you that not for this bin, and that not for that one, and this thing going here, and the other going there. Watch us. Let me start with the blue. It is for plastics. For now, it's only plastic bottles like the water bottles, soft drink bottles, and cooking oil bottles are going in this blue bin because these can be processed in Grenada for recycling here or to be shipped off island. You see the yellow bin? Watch me. You ever hear about return for refund? Well, this is where you put glass bottles that are refundable and any other glass beverage bottle. These can all be reused or recycled. Also use the yellow bin to put your aluminum beer and soft drink cans. These can be processed into bales by the Solid Waste Authority for export. This leaves the organic waste bin to me, the green bin. You see this label on the bin? Watch it good. That is where everything from eating food goes. Chicken bone, fish bone, paper plates, cups, forks, containers, fruits, chips, name it. For now, these will all go to the landfill, but the GSWM may have bigger plans to partner the private sector to recycle to produce manure and animal feed. That's coming soon.
A message from Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, working with you to help keep the environment clean.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything Carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things Carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
Rock the box, we say, yeah. GBN, we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday. 8:30 we tuning in here. When you all the fed, the food and the music, we'll be talking about everything. When you rock the box, that's the spot. All you want to hear about events and things. Rock the box, that's the spot. Want to know which music in tongue popping. Rock the box, that's the spot where we discussing all your favorite things. Rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box.
Welcome back, folks. It's about JC on a Thursday evening. We're getting ready to rock. We're not getting ready. We started shaking it already. There's a Royal Rumble. The plan is to take this to about 100,000 feet. Get a parachute. Who can jump. But in my case, you'll have to push me because I ain't jumping from the height. I can promise you I love life too much. He made a short departure, and he is back. Or should I say he's black? Or maybe let's just say he likes to wear the most softer, delicate colors. But I'm not going to get into that. Yes. Folks, we're getting ready for Legends in Concert, and it promises to be a grand affair. It is a clash of all clashes. And I'm telling you, if you miss it this Saturday, well, let's just put it like this. You miss it. I'm not going to try to explain to you what you've missed. It means you just have to wait for the following year, and hopefully we are going to get on board. Well, we're now going to do his formal introduction. He won the Monarch in 1976, 77, 78. He was back in 1984. He's a son of the soil. He's always reminded us that we've come a long way. And there's still a long way to go. Good night, Rachel. I know you're listening. I wonder what Richard is doing. The man to fly in Turkey. Turkey, you were here. I see you back in one of your more favorite colors, should I say?
I'm just being pinky fabulous tonight, that's all.
What Put it this way. It has always been said, and I'm a firm believer that they say only real men wear certain colors. Those that have assured of themselves are not afraid that they will be labeled. Anyway, that said, welcome. Well, not back. It's good to have you back home for another Legends, and I know you're waiting with childlike anticipation for it, aren't you?
Yeah, really looking forward. We had a really good rehearsal today. Kudos to the police band, the Royal Grenada police band. Those guys were well prepared. It's such a good feeling to walk into your first rehearsal and just have everything in order. It really does a lot for an artist, to walk into that band room the first day and you say a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you feel appreciated. You feel that, okay, these people value your work. They've put in the time and the effort, and what it does is it energizes you. And therefore, you're not going to end up with a lackluster rehearsal because you're excited.
Right.
So today's rehearsal was almost, I would say, like a dress rehearsal. So kudos to them. We're going to sharpen it up even more. So we're going to be biting on Saturday night.
And I know for those of you who probably sitting out there and you're probably saying, how come you remember to say that Turkey won those crowns and you did not remind us that Gypsy is a former king of the world? Yeah, sinking ship came third, and then he decided, just in case there's any hint of political interference in my position. I'm not suggesting that there was. Don't say I say that. But certainly, we really have some legends with us. Would you agree, though, Turkey, that Legends as it is, it has come a long way, but it's quite a long way to go, and you pride yourself in having been part. You've been able to share the stage with other legends like Gypsy over the years, and you're still here.
Yes. Well, being selected to perform on Legend is a privilege. It's a privilege. I mean, there are other people that arguably could have filled my spot, and I'm not diminishing my worth, okay? But with humility, I'm also aware of the fact that, so the thing is, it's a privilege, and I'm grateful. So we had, the last time I did Legend was my first time. Right. I'm a lot more comfortable now. Not that I was not comfortable the last time, but the acceptance and the approval that I got. Because sometimes, right, being out of Grenada, sometimes you sort of question yourself and you ask yourself, am I still relevant? And it comes right back to what you guys were talking about earlier about classic and about putting down compositions that have some permanence.
About your work.
Turns out that they're always relevant. So I have asked myself the question occasionally. And sometimes, like when I touch down on a stage and I start to do certain songs, you scan the crowd, looking for approval. And because if you don't see the initial approval, it means you have to work harder. You have to work harder. You have to connect. When you open a show, when you start a show, you pick up that mic and you start the belt, you have to settle in very soon with the crowd. Okay? And you will scan for approval because you want to understand. And then when you see faces and you see, I know that song, I remember that song, there's nostalgia, I love that song. Right. You actually connect to people and there's a back and forth vibe. And I felt that the first time, and I'm optimistic it will be there this time. And a couple of us have some new, little additions and so on to this particular show. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the show.
Well, according to those young people, well, you're with them. You're on the inside. So now that we've heard from two of the legends, and you're sitting in the middle of them, Val. Yeah. Paint a picture for me. Set the tone. Expectations for this weekend, Saturday.
Well, I think we are putting together, and this is the Legends team, we are putting together a show that I think Grenada, as patrons, would definitely feel proud of. You would hear your iconic singers Scholar, Wizard, Turkey, and others go up against the Gypsy, Crew, and just to be in that space at that moment is going to be memorable.
At a defining moment in time.
Yeah, there are things that happen in a concert that is beyond the recording of the work.
Right.
And every time artists go on stage and, as Turkey just said, interact with that audience, there is magic, there is something happening, right? The song lives again and lives differently. Calypso is always in the present, speaking to people. So the song might have been composed 25 years ago, but there are things in the society today that makes it relevant. And when the artist who understands that and reinterprets that work to this new audience, the song is fresh again. And they leave transcended and transported to a different realm, having been patrons witnessing this new phenomenon that just took place. And that is going to happen on Saturday.
Well, a lot of things is going to happen Saturday, and a lot of things are going to happen within the studio before we leave here at well, here's what's going to do. Yeah, I always like when a little light bulb goes off in my head, and instead of saying, Joseph, behave yourself, I just go to, like bad children, I said, chuts, let me just go with it. So here's what we're going to do. So Saturday is all about the clash. And I know, Gypsy, you all set to clash with the man himself. And I know most people there just waiting to hear Gypsy sinking ship to go against Wizards IMF. They're waiting to hear that. But we're gonna mix things up a bit because we're here for the fun of it. We all want to hear for the fun of it. So, Turkey, I know you were not prepared for Gypsy. Gypsy ain't prepared for you. And Val will be sitting right in the middle in case you all decide, you know what? Let's get it on. Let's get ready for another Royal Rumble. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do the first episode of Rock the Box. So here's what we do. I'm going to pit Gypsy against, we don't have much of an option though, Gypsy against Flying Cloud. You sing for me a cappella, you pick the song, and then you, the public, 440-1252, you are going to get a call, you're going to get a chance to call, and you are going to vote right here on national television. Yes, sir, you have a question, a concern?
No, I don't.
I was wondering.
I don't.
So here's what we're going to do, 440-1252. That's the number on the inside. For those of you that's in social media, reminding you folks, we're getting ready for Legends in Concert. We also getting ready for King of the Grill. I'm telling you, we're getting some 20 of the best grillers across the island. And we're going to converge on Baton Rouge on the 29th of July. And somebody will be crowned King of the Grill 2023. I will be there, not for grilling purposes, but to ensure that the everything that goes with King of the Grill, it lives on. But tonight, I'm not going to... I was looking for my last 25 cents I had.
It was a coin.
Yeah, we're looking for the last 25 cents I had. Yeah, oh, look at it. Yeah. And you wanted to, what's your name sing? Flip a coin. Head or tail, it not going to happen. Yeah. So can we, there's things you hear these guys sing. Head or tail. Let's go head or tail.
You're going to laugh at man now? Head or tail, we go make a jail.
I'm going to decide. I'm going to flip. Who's going to call?
Gypsy, you go. You call.
Let's go. I want to flip.
Anything I don't head, tails doesn't make a difference.
Pick one.
Tail it is.
All right.
Tail it is.
I want to see that coin. That coin was your tail on both sides.
Two tails. That coin is a two-tailed coin.
So, again, reminding you the number on the inside, 440-1252. The risk is going to be on to 5. We're just going to sample. They say the will of the people, we allow the will of the people to transcend. Let's see. If you're calling from outside of Trinidad, we're blocking you. If you're calling from Trinidad, we're blocking you.
Well, Gypsy, the thing rings, so try your best.
I tell you. But you see, the thing about you don't know I'm a Grenadian too, so you could call from wherever you want.
So who we going to go? Flying Cloud, you going first? You going? Who wanted?
Well, since you call me Flying Cloud, and that's not my name, you
Flying Turkey. Everybody flying around here. So we go in a cappella.
No problem.
1 minute. Let's go.
So I'm supposed to sing a song?
Sing a song.
Say I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter, and I'm gonna fight on for my freedom. And if you want to hear the balances, don't free my hands and leave my mind in chains.
Don't you do it?
No.
Don't say I'm free and you still washing my brain.
No.
To do the things that you want me to. I've got a mind of my own. I'm gonna do what I want to do, 'cause I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter.
Don't help him. Don't help him.
That sounds too nice, but I had to say.
Before the song starts,
listen, it just goes to show how friendly we are. So even in war, we have
that's the one thing that was just so glaring.
I messed up the box.
We talked about the power of the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now before it started, everybody, I don't know if Val could really sing.
Because there is no battle really. You know, it's about an exhibition of calypso, putting calypso on so that people can appreciate. While we stage
you tell us
a clash. I know you have your bias. You said it early on.
But
you
I
said it
no
earlier on. But look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. You see, you can see the camaraderie. You know. So
all I can tell is that Turkey's family.
Family.
Sticks with family. Okay, so
all are we are one family.
Let me explain something to you. Me and Turkey been associated so long that we become family too.
It's a whole lot of family thing. If you want to be part of the Legends family, make sure you get your tickets, though.
Yes.
So the one thing with Legends, we must say, Val, before we get to Turkey, that when we say we have a promised start.
Yeah, always.
A promised start.
Always. We have built our reputation on starting on time.
Starting on time.
Yeah.
Well, Turkey, this is your time to start on time. A cappella. What you going to give us?
Well, Hiena, I will try to help Gypsy. So I'm doing two things.
Okay.
I'm helping him out with a little one here.
He needed you.
I don't know what the copyright law is on this, but I want to help him. Down in Africa where the law of the land is based upon oppression to oppress the African man. If you know the words, join in, eh? I met the old man Chigambo, he was already 63. And in his hand was a fighting rifle. And for farewell he never had a trifle. And he was heading for the battlefield that day. When I stop him and say, I said, Gigambo, where are you going with that rifle in your hand? Why don't you put it down, old man? Why don't you stop this doggone war? But tell me what you are fighting for. And he said, I am willing to lay my rifle down. I am willing to lay my rifle down. I am willing to live. Okay, well, it's your song, so you're supposed to. My rival. What about my rival? This is my kit of survival. Oh, kit of survival. Anyway, so I help him out.
You help him out.
I give him a little help out there, right?
That's what friends are for, the good times and the bad times.
By the way, you know, as soon as I got into Grenada, even on the airport, I was told by somebody down there, you're not going to come on that show and not sing that song.
Now you had to do Jigambo.
You're not going to come on that show and not do.
You have to do Jigambo. That's
said I will do it. Yeah, I promise that I will do it.
440.
So that's one of the songs we'll be doing.
440-1252. That's the number on the inside. Now,
the errors we made as we strove to build a nation, do not forget, people. Da, da, da. There were times when we all were proud and times that we all regret, people. If you want to build this, if you want to rebuild this Spice Island, support I get so involved in this. Politicians, please, I say, abandon your power play. Work towards the dawning of a new day. To move Grenada forward, that is a heavy load. But we want one for the future, not for the road. And if we manage our scarce resources properly, we might just get by. So for Grenada's sake, let's get up and give it a try. No lie. Boom, 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 boom. And let those who dwell among us without sins cast the first stone. Show me a man who has not done wrong. Each one wants to blame his adversary and hide his own faults. But tell me, how long can this thing go on? Okay, I had to stop here because you see the other part. If I ain't have my girls, Grenada still belongs to we. It belongs to we. It belongs to we. Grenada still belongs to we. Every blade of grass, every mango tree.
Grenada still belongs to we.
Every flying fish and we Grenada still belongs to we.
And I know Val tell you all to do that, to dispose of any notion that he puts in there. You will be sharing the stage on Saturday. Folks,
I think we will call it a draw, you know.
You'll call it a draw?
Because the thing mix up, the thing get mixed up.
You know, at the end of the day, music wins. That's the one guarantee
that is the important thing.
Music wins at the end of the day.
Calypso wins.
Yes.
Calypso wins.
And I want to tell you in a general sense too, in a general sense, right? While we have friendly competition among Calypsonians, whether it's in the soca monarch or the Calypso king of the world or whatever else, right? At the end of the day, we all remain friends. We all remain, and that's one of the things that I like about our generation. Right. We are all friends. We have never allowed competition to get in the way of Calypsonian and this one have an animosity. I mean, you must find some kind of professional jealousy here and there. You will, that's life. That's how it is. Right. But it is never something that is sustained.
You know, I think that takes a measure of maturity. Professionalism and maturity as an individual.
Yeah. And it also it's a cultural thing as well.
Right.
On that, I have to mention the late Timpo, Mighty Timpo, right? Yeah. So Timpo and I, we actually used to allow the hype to go on. Yeah. That we had an issue.
Of course.
We used to allow it to go on.
Yes.
And so Timpo and I used to laugh. Yeah, it used to be. We used to find it very funny. I remember the late Don Giles. He had a tent called Calypso Castle. He was managing it. I had a tent called We 10.
Right.
Okay.
And we used to push that rivalry, you know.
Yes, of course.
And Don and I on the phone every day, you know. We on the phone every day, you know, working out and so on.
You're all good politicians.
Well,
Right.
just to make that point. Is that same sort of bantering. But unfortunately, sometimes we just blinded by what we think is rivalry. Because we in ourselves, in our own lives, we have our own issues going on. And we assume that's happening with everybody. But not realizing that they're good friends.
To that to any even more than any one of you, because I straddle both of it. Right. And that's the truth.
But I mean, it's classic. I mean, Sparrow and Melody.
Of course.
Basically set that.
They made a living out of that. They made a living
create the paradigm, you know.
And they ain't going to fall for it. 440-1252. That's the number that is on the inside. We are going to go to the phone line, and somebody's going to vote. I'm going to take a look on social media and see what's happening there. We're going to make this quite easy. The race is on up to 5. You're just going to go straight up and tell me who's rocking the box on a Thursday. Is it the band that's reminding us that we've come a long way and we have a long way to go? Or the band that continues, the one song whenever I choose to play on the radio, I always have to pause and ask myself, is it the right mood to play that? But so we do have a caller online. Good evening, caller. Hello, caller. Well, thank you for calling. Thank you for hanging up as well. You can't say...
That's a spoiled vote.
That's a spoiled vote? We got a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I want to speak to Mr. Turkey there.
Well, go ahead,
I knew
speak to
him at the age of 20 when he won the crown 76, 77, 78. It's not forgotten, right? I'm not too sure. But he lost about 4 or 5 or maybe 6 years after I won in 84. Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, well, I didn't lose in those years. I withdrew. I was not in competition. So it was 4 back-to-back crowns. I won 3 times and then I stopped.
Yes,
then went back in 84.
77, 78.
And then he won in 84. So he's saying the years after 78 wasn't that he lost. He was not in competition. And then he returned in 84 and he won.
Just claim his crown back.
He claimed his crown back. He just saying that for the nonsense. But you have, while we go down history lane, you do have to vote though. She's gone. She just wanted to let you know she remembers you.
She
asked me for a dance and she didn't get it.
She's going to be the 3rd row, seat 20.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly
I'm going to make sure I wave.
Make sure you wave. Make sure you. And I think she probably have one of these broad brims hat as well. I don't know. 440-1252. That's the number on the inside. Do we have a caller? Go ahead, caller. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes, where are you calling from?
1977 to her.
Sorry?
From here.
Where are you calling from?
When the road match.
I think he said
I get a sense folks are just happy to have you guys here because they're more interested in the nostalgia.
Yeah, he mentioned King from Hell, so that was 1976.
So everybody's going down they go to history lane. 440-1252, that's the number on the inside. Do we have a caller? Hello, caller.
Good night.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I am good as always. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Tivoli in St. Andrews.
Tivoli, the big parish. Who's rocking the box?
Well, I voted for Grenada belongs to me.
Yeah, me had a problem with that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Celebrate 50.
Okay, have a good night.
Have a good I can vex the lady for that. No. 440-1252. That's the number on the inside. Your boy JC on the inside. Hello, caller.
Yes. I've called a while ago.
I need you to do one thing for me, my dear lady.
I called a while ago. I wanted to let Turkey explain to me 76 to 84 or whatever the case may be. It's just a reminder.
You want him to explain 76 to 84?
Yeah, I knew he was 76, 77, 78, and then not remember, I was young at that time, I was just 20, so that he could tell me the following after when he had sing in 84 or whatever. Explain that to us.
Okay, well,
she wanted to know the missing years.
The missing years. So it's 76.
The missing years.
He won the 3 years back to back.
Right.
76, 77, 78.
Right.
He stepped back from the art form, and then he returned in 1984, and he won then.
I think she wanted to fill in the missing gap. Yeah.
Or maybe she wants to know where you were.
Well, where I was is simple, out of competition. That's where I was.
440-1252.
So what was the reason? What was the reason for stepping back? What was the reason for stepping back?
What was the reason for stepping back? You thought you had...
No. There were other things like I was closely aligned to the political process, and I volunteered. I said I don't want to be involved. Like I was in organizations and so on. You remember we were talking about the Caribbean Calypso Festival and so on. I was organizing all of these Calypso festivals and everything. It did not seem appropriate for me. I just didn't want to be, involved. As a matter of fact, I remember Timpo and I had that conversation in I think it was 1980, Timpo and I had that conversation where I tease him and I say, well, Timpo, go and take how much you could take there now, because well, he's not going to come back here.
You'll be back.
Yeah. Well, Timpo actually used to beat me. Timpo and I started singing in school. And Timpo beat me like 3 years in a row. I won the crown in the school when Timpo left.
Somebody has to make room for somebody.
Nah, Timpo was strong. He was very good. Yeah.
We're keeping our eyes on the clock, 20 minutes on to the hour of 10. Just reminding you that with your boy JC here, we're getting ready for King of the Grill. It is coming up on the 29th of July. We want to say thanks to all of our sponsors that have come on board thus far. The question that begs to be asked, who's going to be crowned King of the Grill 2023 to all of our sponsors. But reminding you also that starting tomorrow in front of the Esplanade Mall, it is going to be Spice Up the Esplanade. That's where it's going to be. For those of if your wife sounds familiar, it's no longer in a carnage, and we'll be highlighting and promoting all things carnival. So the steel pan, the drum pan, the steel pan, soca, calypso, everything happens in front of the Esplanade Mall tomorrow from 4. We're going to be live, so you want to make sure that you be part of that conversation. We have another caller you're saying, guys? No, we take a quick commercial break. When we come back, though, my boy Andrew Hits Phillip is going to return into the studio. I have a plan for him, but he's not sure what it is. But I'm telling you, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet for Legends, the time is now. The clock is on the wall, and it is ticket downwards. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Whoa, whoa. Rock the box, we say, yeah. GBN we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box we say, I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Whether you're shopping for hardware, building materials, and appliances, Hubbard's Building Supplies at Grand Anse is the place to shop. With improved facilities, increased parking, wider variety of products, and a trendy and spacious layout, catering for all your shopping needs. Why wait? Visit Hubbard's Building Supplies today. Now open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Hubbard's. Quality service, affordable prices.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
Have you heard about the new Softweave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Softweave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue. Available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Softweave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Rock the box, where we discussing all your favorite things. Rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box.
Welcome back, folks. It's your boy JC. Thursday evening, and we are creating an internal storm. If you do want me to apologize for it, let me think. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Maybe next year. It is too close to Legends in Concert for me to start making any apologies. The only apologies that I do want to make is that for some reason you want to believe that I won't be at the Legends. No, I'm so sorry. I'll be all pink and a borrowed turkeys. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna learn from him. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna learn from him. Welcome back, folks. Your boy JC here with you, and we're having so much fun. The flying turkey here on the inside. Val is here with me, and the gypsy. And certainly we're here, Val, for one and only one reason. We're getting ready for Legends in Concert. We're off for 3 years. Because of COVID. Yeah. But here we are back in living colors, and we are ready for the Royal Rumble. The clash is on.
The clash is on. But not only the clash. So we have this clash, and we are pitting the lyric men against one another and so on. And of course, people are going to flip their coins and decide who is the winner. But inside of this grand show, we also have, for the first time, Drupati.
Yep.
Right? With the chutney mix and so on, coming to do it nice. And a young guy, because we were talking Calypso earlier on, and we're saying that young ones are kind of falling off the grid a bit. But we have Mr. Shaq, who is definitely part of the younger brigade. Very lyrical, strong, powerful, and a big guy. He can match any one of them. So that Legends again, the brand, and moving into that kind of institution is showing the way and showing how to do it and how to keep Calypso alive and making it happen in the way that we believe Calypso as a voice in the Caribbean should always have that platform to speak to people.
And Mr. Shaq will be coming against Stunner, who is
Shaq is a phenomenal performer, very talented young man.
Yeah, we saw Stunner last year. Stunner is Scholar's son, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Scholar's son.
Two young people.
Yes.
Right?
Stunner was really excellent last year. So
right. Yeah. Just now I was saying, let's not knock the generation too hard, but inside of all the tomfoolery and so on, there are some rough diamonds in the mix coming.
Sometimes you have to knock them so they get to understand that there is a history and a legacy.
In knocking, one has to also
delicately
be very not just careful, but be aware in terms of the language used so that it doesn't distance. Because you want to caution them and say, hey, you're not doing it too well. There are things you need to learn and spend more time learning the mechanics of it rather than just thinking, well, I want a hit.
But I think though, the challenge, though, for me that I have, and many persons that would raise, is not necessarily regarding the younger Calypsonians. Is this new and upcoming soca, the power soca artists. The Calypsonians seem to be growing, and they appreciate the virtue of the art form. But when you have, and I say it every day, you have a guy that comes out of the woodwork. He comes up and he calls himself an artist. God forbid, I don't know who gave him that entitlement. And he sings, Jack and Jill went up a hill, boom shaka laka laka, bend over. And all of a sudden, he assumes, by virtue of his delivery, I should play him on radio. And I'm saying,
So let's invite them to Legends on Saturday, so that they enter this classroom and understand that there is work to be done. And even if you are crafting a party song, there has to be some thought behind it.
And I'm agreeing with you. We look at it. I've often said, you look at Sparrow. think about smut. I mean, please. I mean, but it was history back then historically, and there was a wit, the satire. There was a way to mask it. I mean, those guys going to say bend a woman over, and the only thing they doesn't say at the end of it is that she's going to be pregnant 10 months, 9 months later. That's the only thing they leave it from the story.
Yeah.
If I have an admonishment for young people, the only thing I would like our young Caribbean singers and artisans now to learn is, as we were saying a little earlier, learn a little bit about music. The young man who was here before, he understands that.
Andrew.
Because a lot of things that Andrew understands, Andrew spent a lot of time with Roy and stuff in Trinidad doing, because he understands music. A lot of them don't understand what the music is. And what they're doing, I'm not saying it in a negative way, I'm saying it, some of them, they're tantamount to really making noise and thinking that it is music, because what they're doing, they have no tonation, they have nothing in it. They put on something that's
They're screaming babies.
I am saying that every generation shapes the world to suit themselves.
But what would be problems then?
And I am cool with that. But I'm saying that while you are shaping the world to suit yourself, it must have come from somewhere. And that shape must emanate from something. You understand? You don't pull it down from thin air. What we did, we didn't pull it down from thin air. And what they are doing, they're not pulling it down from thin air. But you must learn in order to create anything. You must learn something from something to create something.
There's a foundation.
And that is what I am going to admonish them about, and that's what I find they should do. Try to learn something. Like, take for instance, basically, any calypsonian you find around now could play the guitar, or play some of it in some way, because they understand that that's some basic. They could play the piano in some way. All of us could do that. And a lot of these young people know nothing about anything. They put on something, the thing plays whatever for them.
Right.
I guess is AI. Everything is AI now.
Well, my view on that.
So real intelligence maybe don't conk now. So they're probably just saying, so what the hell? We ain't going to have to learn nothing.
Just Google it.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
So by the way, you play the piano, right?
I fool around playing anything.
Okay, I play the rasp, but that's a whole different.
I just fool around. I'm not a professional piano player. I'm not a professional guitarist.
Yeah, you must try playing the rasp.
But
really
if I have to play something, I will.
But here's one of my views on the thing, right? So first of all. I always guide myself by remembering that when I was a teenager, there were some people right in St. Paul's, the older generation, that used to knock me for playing Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. So I remember that. So I always try to be cognizant of the fact that different generations, see things differently, and things have to be in certain contexts and so on, right? I mean, we're talking about the Bob Marley kind of songs that's made hundreds of thousands of millions in royalties, right? They used to be like, oh, look at them on their little the boombox, playing this music. But calypsonians, as you said earlier, are the griots, are story writers. And in most cases, a calypsonian writes his story or her story. And then the musicians come and they embellish and they shroud it, right?
Right.
But the story is written. Now, in the case of some soca artists, because if I take 100% of the soca artists, there's a 10% that I'm separating from this competition, from this thing, because these guys just know what they're about. These guys are entertainers. These guys are superstars. Okay, right. I don't want to get into the name dropping. If I did, I would have to start with Mr. Killer, but I don't want to get into name dropping. But these are guys that take their stuff seriously. And they focus and they work, You have the Dashes and that elk and so.
They're in a different league.
Huh?
They're in a different league totally.
Yeah. The Natty and Thunders, we were talking about them tonight from Outer Cities.
Marshall?
No man, no God.
The Sinti Sons?
They're the Sinti Sons.
Sinti Sons. Looney Spark and
So you see the effort that these guys put into their work. But then you have some other guys, they get away with the jumping in the thing because you see it's the equivalent of a skip rope. The rope is already being turned. All they have to do is jump in.
Learn how to jump.
They don't have to bring anything. So now a lot of times people will dance, people will jump to anything that's sung. They're not really responding to the artists. They're responding to the music. Because we have these rhythms built into us. And anytime you hear African rhythm, anytime you hear jab jab drum, anytime you hear a bass, you're gonna be jumping.
Yeah.
So then it's irrelevant. I could line up 100 guys out there, and I could start a particular rhythm here. And 100 guys could walk through and they could say, wine on a thing, and ding, 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 and walk out.
Right.
They have not brought anything to this. People are responding to this rhythm. Whether they were here or not, people would have responded.
So do you think, though, and I guess Andrew, and I think we've alluded to it as you get ready to wrap, is that lack of education, not understanding the intricacies of it? While they assume that because you get me to move.
I don't think it have anything to do with anything other than...
I wouldn't put it down to lack of education.
I think it's just...
I would put it to where the focus is at. Their focus is money. And money only. And that is what's going to bring it in. That is what's going to happen. They could do that, and that's it. And that's all. That's all. It's a kind of singular, kind of minded thing.
Well, the thing is this, and this is a good opportunity for, let's say, the Department of Culture, and I say Department of Culture loosely to mean whatever, whether it's SMC, this, that.
Right.
Because in the 100 guys that pass through, there might be some that you could say, he had a particular approach to the music. He had a particular approach to the music. So I think it's just a matter of opportunity, because if it's carnival time and there's music playing and a guy get the zeal and he get the move, he can sing. And I don't think you could stop him. I don't think you should stop him. But a talent scout could probably look at him, right? So back in my day in Wheat Tent, guys used to just come and sing. I remember a guy called Kaunda, dear friend of mine, dear buddy, right? I was walking past the market one day and I see Kaunda. Kaunda was just singing a cappella for people, and I walk past him and I stop and I walk back. Or as we say, I jig back. And when he finished singing, he was from Montmorris. I called him and said, come a while. I said, you have something, what the French call je ne sais quoi. There's something here.
Sure, the verb.
Yeah. Would you mind coming up to Wheat Tent? And the rest is history. Kaunda became,
Well, some are born with it, some they not born with it. Others are willing to learn.
That's a harder factor. Eh? That's a serious factor, that there are people who are born to do certain things, and there are people who just see certain things and try to do it.
But the question is, are we willing to learn, appreciate the history that goes with it? How do I perfect my craft? Well, you don't need to perfect any craft. What you need to do, you just find yourself some money, find a ticket agent, and buy yourself a ticket.
Yeah.
Tell them why, Val. Why they need to get a ticket and for what event?
Unfortunately, demand and supply is another issue too, because if people sing in whatever they want and then people jump into it, then you have a cycle. It's demand and supply. So it's very difficult to say. But I'll tell you one thing though, and then I'm gonna hush, is that the cream always rises to the top. So the 100 people could pass through here.
Right.
But you're going to end up with one Vaughn, you're going to end up with one Dash, you're going to end up with one Mr. Killer, you're going to end up with one Tall Pre. I say I wasn't name calling because then...
sometimes you have to. In order to weed out the unnecessaries, you have to be able to let the cream rise.
The cream will rise to the top. So I think it's okay for everybody to try. It's a free country. If you hear a rhythm you want to jump on.
Well, thank you, Turkey. I ain't for carnival.
So as we kind of getting ready to put a lid on it, legends tells us that in this Caribbean space we have created iconic songs that will always inform us about how beautiful this space is, how the challenges we have. And as I said earlier on, these songs are always presented in the present. Because someone mentioned that Turkey won in the 70s for 3 years straight or 4 years straight.
Three straight.
Yep. and then there's a gap and come at 84. A number of young people or people out there do not know that, so that every time Legends is presented, we remind people of the greatness of this space called Grenada, this space called Trinidad, or I could say these plantations have produced excellence and will continue to produce excellence. But I think we have reached a stage where we think that the plantation is so decrepit and it cannot produce anything anymore.
Right.
But Legends reminds you that this space still has the potential to be great.
Potential to be great. Greatness is always a train in progress. But the one thing we can tell you, while we await that thing called greatness, there we are going to see a masterful performance, some masterful performances on Saturday night.
And I urge all the people, as many as can, come down there on Saturday, because we have something to offer. Even the very young people, I want them to come. They must come and see exactly. If some people might want to hone their art, even though you might be singing soca or whatever you're singing, but there is a blueprint for these things, and down at Legends you would see that blueprint exists there, so you can deduce and derive something from it. So come on down and be entertained and educate, and just remember, singers in the Caribbean, whatever we do, we still have a responsibility to our countries and our area and our diaspora, because it is still in need of some kind of support.
It is still in need of some kind of support. The final word from the man, the voice, in case you're wondering who he is, in case you just joined us, that's the man, the Gypsy. Nestled between him, right on his other arm, there is the man Val, and certainly he's promising us that we get a prompt start. What time do we start?
7:30.
7:30 on the bubble. If you're from Trinidad, get your doubles, get your solo, and you make it there, boy. Yeah, come down from way there. You're coming from Maraval, wherever you're coming from, or you're coming down from over the hills, listen, just get your way.
And there's always a treat, because people who come to Legends know that Dana has a wonderful, let's say, buffet. And you just get the most incredible local food, right? So Legends has it all.
That's the story. The only other place you get food that is beyond par is when you join us at King of the Grill on the 29th of July. I'm telling you, the grillers will be out. Who's going to be crowned King of the Grill? I have no idea. The judges will decide, but I'm telling you, there's nothing but judging. The clash is on. Folks, make it a date. Be inside. You don't want to miss a Legends in concert. It happens this Saturday. Peace and out, your boy JC. Reminding you, tomorrow it is Spice Up the Esplanade Mall. The whole kitchen kibbutz is going to be there. You don't want to miss it. JC loves you. I'm out of here. Keep living life, loving life. Have fun. Good night. Yeah.
Rock the box, we say, yeah. GBN, we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday. 8:30 we tuning in here. When you all the food and the music, we'll be talking about everything.